I will connect the manifold gauge to 4 different vehicles. First, we will read the static pressure. That is the initial reading before the vehicle is started. Readings should be near the same. We will see the operating pressure. That is vehicle on, max AC, fan at highest. At these settings, we will also measure the air blowing out the vents. I ran these tests consecutively, total time about 1 hour. Ambient temperature around 80 to 85, humidity near 50%. These vehicles use fixed displacement compressors, and the clutch does engage. Here's vehicle number 1, a 2002 Ford Mustang. The AC is rarely used and has never been serviced. This is an orifice tube system. Our static pressures are at 70 psi. Operating pressure comes out to 23 low, 185 high. The vents are blowing a cold 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow, what a start. With our ambient temperature of 80, we should expect pressures of 40 to 50 low, 175 to 210 high. What is your diagnosis of this system? Vehicle number 2 is a 1997 GMC Safari. This is another orifice tube system. But wait, it is also an expansion valve system. This vehicle has an auxiliary AC system. It uses 2 evaporators, an orifice tube in the front, and an expansion valve in the back. Static pressures are 85 psi. Operating pressure is 29 low, 135 high. The vents are blowing a decent 52. This van has recently been evacuated and recharged to spec. No components were changed. Based on this information, what do you suggest as a fix for the customer? Number 3 is a 2016 Ford Mustang. This is a newer vehicle, so it shouldn't have any problems, right? Static pressures read 90. Our ambient temperature has increased to near 90 and humidity has dropped to less than 30. Operating pressure reads 25 low, 155 high. The vents are blowing a cold 43. The expected pressures at 90 degrees are 45 to 55 low, 250 to 270 high. Based on this information, what is your diagnosis? Our last vehicle is a 2006 Ford F-150. Static pressures read 92. Operating pressures are 26 low, 195 high. The vents are blowing a cold 45 degrees. Ambient temperature 90, humidity less than 30. What is your conclusion from these readings? We're going to end the video with a chart of our gathered data and some answers. Our static pressures, I can tell it got hotter as the hour went by. The compressor kicks in at a minimum of 25 psi. These numbers look fine. Moving on to the operating pressures. All of the low pressures are in the 20s. I say this is normal for fixed displacement compressors. The '02 Mustang, the high is within range, and the AC blows cold. I would leave this one the way it is. The Safari, very low high pressure. This van has recently been charged to spec, so this is not a low refrigerant issue. None of the components have been changed, so this could be a weak compressor, a clog in the system. It uses an orifice tube and an expansion valve, so there's more points of failure. I would suggest install new components, including a new evaporator and the receiver dryer, to get that ice cold AC. 52 degrees is decent, so most likely we'll keep it that way. The 16 Mustang and F-150 show low high pressures, especially the Mustang. The driver of the Mustang constantly uses the AC, so for these two I would recommend adding refrigerant, 1 ounce at a time until pressures jump to normal. What I suggested are quick fixes. There might be a leak in the system that needs to be addressed. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. 20 likes and I'll troubleshoot 5 more vehicles. But this time, let's find some unhealthy systems. Till then, keep on improving your skills.